This is the Holland Transplanter. One of my most watched videos was on this particular planter. A lot of people asked questions about it, and a few people want to buy one. Well, I'm not really sure where you can go to get a Holland Transplanter except Holland, Michigan, where they make them. And this model, as I understand it, is still being made. I don't know if you can read that model number, but that's the serial number and all the information I have on it. Now, my reason for coming out to the metal shop today to show you this video is that we've made a little modification. One of the problems that I have had throughout the years that I've used this transplanter, and I think I'm on this will be my 4th or 5th year with this transplanter. And one of the problems that I've had is it's hard to run the transplanter across the ground once I put drip line into the ground, and it's even harder to put the drip line into the ground after I've put the transplants in the ground. So I've often thought that there should be some way that I could put the drip line down at the exact same time that we're putting the transplants in the ground, so that the transplants and the drip tape will all be right where they need to be, and then when I come through with the cultivator later, I don't have any fear that I'm going to hit those water lines. So we set up the Holland Transplanter. It's a relatively simple job. It took us a long time because we had to gather the materials, weld everything together, and then we put a coat of paint on it. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult showing you what this is. But when we run it out in the field this summer, you'll see it again and you'll better understand what we're doing. What we did is we mounted this structure here. Let me see if I can. This piece right here, now this paint is wet so I don't want to touch it, is mounted to the back of the transplanter. That roll right there with the drip tape on it, that will sit right in this cradle. And then the drip tape will run down along this piece of PVC pipe. This is just there to keep from scratching up the drip tape. It'll run down into the transplanter's shoe down here. Now this shoe is run down in the ground. In fact, the soil will be at this level, or just slightly above this is where we try to be. The tape will slide down and go underneath that metal rod. The plants are placed in right at about this spot here. So the tape will already be in. It'll probably be about an inch or two below the ground, because by the time we're setting the plants in, these collar wheels or press discs, they're pushing the soil back into the ground. And then we run over these press wheels, and that further presses the drip tape down into the ground. Now I'm excited to show you this because one of the things that we did yesterday, and I'm going to put a video out about that, we went on a road trip. We went down to La Crosse, Indiana to buy potatoes and onion sets and shallot sets. Now, I don't think we'll be able to plant any of that using the Holland Transplanter. Well, the onions we won't be able to plant. The shallots we should be able to plant using the Holland Transplanter. Now, I also made some modifications to the transplanter so that I could mount it to my Kubota tractor. Now, one of the problems is the Kubota is actually a little bit too light. The 3-point hitch is rated for the weight, but it's a little light. So we're going to have to get some more weights to put on the front of the tractor. I'll show you that here. We've got Whoops, I'll edit that out. We've got these weights. These are called suitcase weights, and they just hang on the front there. These are 50 pounds a piece. I might be able to get a couple of 100-pounders to put on there. The problem with that, I think, is that bracket may not be designed really to support 3 100-pound suitcase weights. And if they're not designed right, they won't sit well on there. So, so those are the modifications that we made, and hopefully that'll all work together really well. Until next time, I'm Chicken Johnny. You're in the metal shop with Chicken Johnny. Emitzer Shem, I'll see you again. Eat your vegetables. Hey, go Team Will It Grow.